Order, the East Providence City Council. It's a little after 6:30. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll of the council?
Council, Councilman Fogarty,
Yeah.
Councilman Lawson,
Yeah.
Council Vice President Rigo,
Yeah.
Councilwoman Souza,
Here.
Council President Rodrick.
Here, the record show, all 5 members are present. Thank you. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you read Roman numeral 2?
Executive session. The City Council of East Providence may meet in executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5A2. Claim and sewer charge abatements. And B, litigation, Bank of America versus Sarah Few.
Thank you. We're going to split up the executive session into 2 parts. We'll go into executive session with the Assistant Solicitor Votolato at this time, and then when we come back, we'll finish the other part, claims and sewer charge abatements, right here at the dais with Solicitor Marcello. So is there a motion to move to executive session for the litigation portion?
Yes, according to Rhode Island General Laws 42-46-5A2, I move to executive session.
Second.
Second by Councilman Fogarty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We'll move to executive session at this time. Be right back.
Can you slowly write down what I'm supposed to be reading out?
Motion to return to public session and seal the minutes of the executive session. Is there a motion to that effect?
Motion.
Motion, Council Vice President Rego, seconded by Councilman Fogarty. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. City Clerk, if you want to just report the results of the first part of the executive session, or can
I can do it, yes. I'm
Mr.
sorry. So there was a settlement discussion regarding a tax appeal by Bank of America. The settlement agreement was approved by the council, I believe unanimously. I did not take part in that settlement discussion or the negotiation of that settlement because I have a legal conflict. However, once the agreement is signed, it'll become a public record. So everybody wants it, they can get it at that point. And
Thank you.
also,
And then there
I'll
was
report out all the claims that were listed on the agenda were approved upon the recommendation of the Public Works Director. The amounts are listed on the agenda and they were approved unanimously as well.
Thank you. Back in open session, Madam Clerk, if you could continue with the agenda.
Make a
We,
motion to seal the minutes.
I think we did early, but we can,
Probably because you did them so fast that he probably didn't notice it.
that's okay. I think it was Councilman Regan and Rego and Councilman Fogarty, right? And it was unanimous. Okay, continue, please, Madam Clerk.
Consent calendar for discussion and possible vote. A, council journals, regular council meeting, September 16th, 2025. Budget hearing meeting, September 24th, 2025. Letters, new property numbers, 99 Walnut Street, East Providence, Rhode Island, 02914, map 105, block 08, parcel 039.00. 51 Dunbar Street, Rumford, Rhode Island, 02916, map 404, block 22, parcel 02210. Do you want me to ask for a motion on that, or do you want me to add the tax abatements?
If there are no outstanding questions on the tax
I'll make a motion to accept the consent calendar complete.
complete, okay. Motion by Councilman Lawson, seconded by Councilwoman Souza. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Continue, Madam Clerk. Licenses, is it?
Sorry, turn my. Licenses, C, non-public hearings, special events, one-day entertainment license for bingo night. Date is 12/13, 6:30 to 10:30 p.m. Do you want me to read all of them, or do you want to?
No, we could
I'll
have a
make a
motion
motion to
to
bundle.
bundle. Motion by Councilman Lawson to bundle the request, seconded by Councilman Fogarty. All in favor of bundling?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. 5-0.
I'll make a motion to approve C1 through 8.
Second that.
Motion by Councilman Lawson, seconded by Councilman Fogarty. C numbers 1 through 8. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
And I just want to say for record, number 2 is an incredible house display for Halloween on Oak Ave. They go all out every year. It is amazing. They are awesome. And I encourage everybody to take a ride down south and check it out.
That's October 24, looks like. Well, they have it.
Well, they have it up for a few
Regularly
weeks throughout
anyway.
the Halloween season, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yep.
Okay. Continue, Madam Clerk.
Public comment, Nancy Hale.
Yes, is Nancy Hale present? Okay, well, we'll have to move on. Is there anyone else?
No.
If she comes back, we'll let her. Sure, yeah, she'll be able to ask a question. Continue.
Council members, discussion and possible vote on changes or amendments to the mayor's fiscal year 26 proposed budget.
So we've had a few hearings and workshops. I did ask for any requests to have other department heads here tonight, and there were none. There are obviously still a few questions that members have, and we can open it up at this time to questions, comments by the council.
I got a couple.
Yes, Councilman Lawson.
Mine, page 48 for the miscellaneous. Yeah, I don't have the numbers here. For purchase services, legal services, this 250, shouldn't that be under the legal department? Why is it in miscellaneous?
Do have the Director of Finance here, and also Mayor's Chief of Staff, Administration. Mayor is present also, so anyone can answer that.
So there are two line items for legal services. This has always been in this. We split it up because there are some legal services that we use that when I have a conflict, like want a conflict to, when we hire a specialized counsel, like we hired a counsel for the solar issues that we've had. Bond counsels sometimes comes out of this as well. Other specialized things like arbitration fees, we pay them out of that fee. That's why. So it's
Right, but
kind of a
shouldn't it be
miscellaneous.
all under one legal?
I think at one time it was councilman, to be honest with you, and then I think a prior council, took it out. So it's I mean, it's a really a bookkeeping matter, but
So if we had it last year, how much was left over from that
I don't know.
line item?
It says 250 and 58,000's been used so far, so that's $192,000 is still left over. According to this, you might have used more since it. Your half year was 58.
So how much
I
have
can
we
give you an
spent
updated
from that
number
line
in a
item?
second.
So, but at that point, at this point, it's 192,000.
And also be very clear, when I'm involved in labor negotiations, I bill to that account as well.
Okay, so year to date, we've used about $125,000 of the 250 budgeted.
So there's 130 left over, and we want to add 250 to that.
125.
No.
Budgeted to.
Right, but last year,
Guys, one at a time.
you're
Councilman
saying how
Lawson
much is
has
left
the
over
floor.
from what we budgeted last year?
Oh. Leftover from what we budgeted last year was 115,000.
There's 115,000 left from last year, and then we want to add 250 on top. So we still have 115,000 from last year. Okay. Okay. So there's 115,000 out there somewhere.
Through the council president, if I may.
Yes.
Listen, I just want to make note, just for the viewers at home to understand, or the residents, that please, it's important to look at this as a whole picture and look at previous years. So fiscal year 2024, there was 320,239. Fiscal year 23, 329,641. So I just wanted to make you aware of those.
No, I'm aware, but last year there's 115,000 that was unspent from last year's budget. Okay.
Yeah.
So fiscal year 24, you're telling me, because fiscal year 25 is not over yet. So I'm trying to get a feel for where this is going and everything like that. So Glenda, you're telling me that at the end of fiscal year 24, out of the 328, there was 115 left over?
No,
Well, well,
5.
I was
we're still in fiscal 25.
correct.
So there's we haven't closed it out yet. So that there's 115 left in this fiscal year 25.
That's-
When you're telling me last year, from an accountant standpoint, I'm thinking 24. 25 hasn't closed yet. So it's 115 as of today we have in this budget
Correct.
from now until the end of this month.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So
And do we anticipate using that?
There are, I mean, I can just tell you from the labor negotiations, there are outstanding labor bills that will be paid from this because we're still in negotiations.
And how much is left on your budget?
On my other side of the budget,
Yeah.
I can tell you that. I know that I have not gone over budget. I know that. I think that's the same amount that we budgeted last year. I think based upon the mayor's recommendations, the total legal budget has been cut by $100,000 from last year. I'm just on the legal department.
And that's what I mean when I say your budget.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Legal department.
Does that answer your question pretty much, Councilman? Councilman
How much
Lawson, you're
is
good?
left over from the legal. That's
Yeah, no, I'm just asking if you're good.
No, I didn't. How much is left over? I didn't get the answer.
Oh, the total left?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the legal department's remaining as of today is 23,000.
Between both those lines, about 150.
Yes.
And the other question, when I dug down 53,403, purchase professional services, I didn't see exactly what that was for.
Could you clarify what department?
It's under miscellany, line item 53403.
It's still number 900 under miscellaneous.
Yeah, right under legal services, 100,000. But I didn't see when I dug down in OpenGov what exactly that was allocated for.
Yep. Is it itemized? Can you go to the right? Mike, I believe that's also for legal expenses.
Some of it is, some of our expert fees that we pay when we need doctors, arbitration fees, those kind of things, I believe. I think that actually is where the arbitrator's fees comes from when we go to arbitration.
So 350 are technically legal.
Yes.
Not all of that money goes to legal. I mean, when we have to hire an expert or outside of legal, if there's a specialized.
So you hire them due to law.
No, but there might be other departments that use that line item as well. I'm not aware of that, but I believe they are. Maybe the mayor can.
So I got questions on the city council's budget. We got 60, line item 5300, 53,000, 68.3K for purchase professional services. Do we know? I thought the audit was on this administration side. I thought we moved that.
No, we have to keep
No.
it with it's on our side. Meeting you missed, that's, we had this question. The audit stays with us because we're
Yeah,
technically responsible for the audit.
Yes, the audit was
We
put
don't
in
do
the
anything
city
with it.
council.
And we don't get the audit. Is that by charter?
Yes.
Okay. 35K legal services. Again, why isn't this under one line item under legal?
At one point, the city council, I think it was the prior city council, maybe Bob can answer this question, but they moved some legal services to your account so that they had the ability to hire outside legal counsel when they felt there was a conflict unnecessary. So
There were discussions from council about hiring.
We did that last year.
Right.
and I,
Still have
Right,
that
but
same-
We never did hire.
all
we
these
started
legal
to,
things
but-
to me should be in one line item. It's just, it's all over the place.
But that was for a council appointment. We,
Last year when-
council members.
Well, we could still utilize.
Sure.
legal. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I think
Three.
I think when it goes into Mike's department, we don't have that access like we do if it's in our budget. You know what I mean? Like we can't go into his budget and utilize any funds that he has set aside under professional services. We can only use it in our budget.
So if we hire a lawyer over 35K, we can't utilize the legal.
no, I think you can. I'm not to disagree with the councilwoman. It was just really, they didn't want to have to go through my office basically. So, but they could have, but if they wanted to just,
Okay.
they can. And so that's why it was moved
3K
out.
for training and conferences.
Is that for 2025? That was for the IIMC, the International Institute of Municipal Clerks. They do their annual conference training.
Shouldn't that be in your budget though, not the city council's?
Nope, it's under the city councils. I already went once this year.
Right, and you're going again,
Well, yeah,
you're going this year?
well, next year, it's not until November.
Okay.
Next year, 2026.
Line item 57311.
Is that?
So is this for every live stream in the school department, everything?
No.
They do their own, okay,
Yeah, you
no, that's fine.
for their own.
And 863 for phones?
$863. Yes, that's all the cell phones, the cell phone payers and laptops. That-
We have cell phones and laptops in city council?
I don't.
Rob explained
No.
that the last time that supposedly, again, I don't pay attention to what goes into my account every 2 weeks because it's not that big, but supposedly every so often there's a bump where we get an extra 6 or 7, whatever the amount was. That was explained in the meeting there that. Yeah, for our own use of phone, that was explained. I mean, again, I don't pay attention because,
Mine doesn't change. It's the same every 2 weeks.
well, that's what was said to us. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I've
Yeah, there are no cell phones. Every year this comes up, and there's a question about do the council
yeah.
have members have cell phones? Well, we do not. I have never had one. My rate stays about the same also, so I don't know what
They come in separate-
changes, but
So it's a
they come in
stipend for,
separate checks, and so far paid out to the city council is $2,103. And we researched it through the paychecks through human resources. Me and Bob.
so that's a
Rob,
stipend for us
we
using our
actually-
personal equipment.
right. So probably should change the wording to not say
Right, so
cell
the
phone
only-
or something.
We're not getting.
Yeah, but that's
The only other thing I
Yes.
got is the police. We're budgeting for 101 positions. We're at 82. There's a good chance we're going to lose 4 or 5. If it's not realistic that we're going to hit 101, can we reallocate a couple of these positions to DPW? We need craftsmen. We need laborers. And listen, if we were back to 101, 102 for the cops, I'd be right there. But we're at 82. Is it realistic? We're going to hire
Well-
18 cops this year?
yeah, probably not. I would ask the mayor and the solicitor. I mean, through the year, can't that be an administrative function if we don't hire? Go ahead.
Council
Yes.
President, we are not budgeted for 101 officers. That includes civilian employees. So you're probably looking at the FTEs, which include civilian employees.
Okay.
I think we're around 95 or 96. And just because it says FTE at the bottom, 95, we actually budgeted many of those positions, understanding that we're not going to be able to fill them for a full year. Some are budgeted 50%, some are budgeted 25%, because we understand that we're not going to be able to fill all those spots. But the possibility does exist that those spots could get filled. I mean, we have an active recruiting process going on right now. We have people in the academy, and we also take lateral transfers. So at any moment, we could end up with more police officers coming in. The budget reflects that on the salaries that we reduced some of those positions. Instead of a full position, it's a half position.
So there is a clear need for more DPW.
I don't know where you're getting that from, Councilman. Did someone come to you and say that?
First budget workshop, these guys and Dan all said, yes, we need more DPW.
Well, I
if
think
the money was there, and I just mentioned to wait for the money to be there.
Let me just say this, Councilman, I respect that you're trying to get us more DPW people. I will tell you this, that if the money was there, I could use 30 or 40 more DPW, 30 or 40 more people in.
Let's cut down a couple of positions here that are not going to get filled and move that budget item over to DPW.
I don't think that's prudent. You know, if the money was there, I'd be looking at putting more rescue service. We're in the process right now of negotiating with the fire department in the hopes that we can get more rescue coverage. The reality is, when you budget something, you have to live by the budget.
Agreed.
Do I think we could use more of everything? Yes, in all aspects of government. But the reality is we have to live within a very constrained budget. I appreciate that you're trying to get more people for our community
And
to
I
do
think
work.
we can move a couple of these positions over to DPW because it's not realistic that we're going to fill 15 positions.
But what would happen then is that you would create in the budget a shortfall. So you would create these 2 new positions now that would have to be fully funded by healthcare and everything else that comes along with it, FICA and everything else that has to pay for it.
Yep.
Those 2 positions would now be budgeted going into next year. And if we ever reach the position where we could have a fully staffed police department, I would be short funding for 2 full-time police officers. So you're in effect, you would be defunding the police to help fund DPW.
No, don't use that language.
Well, I'm telling you,
The realism is
we haven't come, no one in my staff, my DPW director, none of my superintendents came to me saying, hey, we want more DPW
the
people.
very first budget workshop. It was clearly stated and agreed upon by everybody. Yeah.
I think probably what the director said was we could always use more.
Is
Wasn't
there an appetite
specific-
from this council to move a couple positions to DPW? Well, let's just save time.
Well, I don't know that we have that authority to make line item moves of personnel.
All right.
But that's why I started by asking the mayor and the solicitor, along the way, as can budgets be adjusted? Can the mayor come back to us and say, you know, we're not going to hire these 15 police officers. We might hire 8, and we can shift some money over, as the councilman is saying, and maybe not tonight, but at some point.
Can I
Yes.
offer some explanation on that too? So we budget an overtime line, we budget a salary line. What ends up happening is if you can't fill the positions, you have to backfill with overtime. There may be a situation where the overtime is not enough to cover. Yes, it's a struggle to find police officers now. Yes, we are woefully understaffed on the police side. That funding that's there is meant to bring on full-time police officers at some point, but if they're not there, it's going to help supplement the overtime line is what's going to happen. We've put together a well-crafted budget with input from all of our department heads. I think the question was asked by one of the council people to the DPW director, you know, could you use more people? And I recall him saying something along the lines that, yes, we can always use more people, which is a true statement. We could always use more people, but we have to live within a responsible budget. That's all.
So Councilman, if I can.
Yes, please, Councilman.
So in the past, we have, in just an example, you know, it's one that I don't even bring up this budget because it doesn't matter, just like your point here with the dispatch, and we had allocated funding for that, that budget. And unfortunately, the council has the ability to add, right, and remove from the budget, but the power lies with the administration as to what they do with the budget once it's been approved for the council. So with all good intentions, and I do agree with you that, you know, we could probably shift things around. At the end of the day, it's not our duty or our, you know, purview to make those decisions once we've approved the dollar amount in the budget. And the charter also gives the mayor of the city the ability within 90 days to shift around funds within the budget where they see fit. So 6 months after the budget, if, you know, the mayor decides to create a position somewhere or hire somewhere or give a merit raise somewhere or whatever, it's as long as that money's in that budget, then they can do so without the
As long as
council.
the money's in the total
Correct.
bottom line, it can, so there's a chance we can try to get something done here. Other questions on anyone?
Make a motion to approve the budget.
Hearing none, is there comment? Go ahead.
Councilman, I know
Yes.
Ms. Hale had a comment. This is
Yes.
This is just a review at this point. This was set down as a council review for all these departments if necessary. And I think the councilman asked some really good questions there and got some stuff. I don't know if there's any more questions that the council doesn't appear on this budget.
Doesn't appear.
I know Ms. Hale
to have
did
any
sign
more.
up and you also.
Yes, you had signed up, Ms. Hale, and you were out of the room at the time, but we've said you can come forward. That's no problem if you, doesn't look like it. Sorry, it's just a joke. But please come forward and ask your questions. Good to see you here tonight.
He didn't mean that, Nancy.
Nancy Hale, 889 Billix Point Avenue.
Welcome.
I just want to say I've seen tons of DPW work down in Riverside, and it's looking great. Driving around is wonderful. The traffic is still, good. Enough on that for tonight, because my question about the budget is appreciating what Rick Lawson has said, that a budget is a reflection of priorities. I just want to know what, and I haven't had a chance to review the budget. What in the budget reflects East Providence's commitment to sustainability, respecting the bay, environmental challenges, or energy resilience? Any of those things?
Well, from my point of view, certainly with, as you mentioned, the work that we're doing in a lot of the parks and recreational sites has to be done in conjunction with coastal resources, with Rhode Island Department Management, Rhode Island DEM, and a lot of those regulatory agencies. We've been trying for a long time to get some work done at Willett Pond, and we have to wait for Coastal Resources, CRMC, for approval. So I think, we're doing what we can as far as all the aesthetics go. Do we have a line item that says X amount of dollars is going towards some of the things you're asking for? Probably not. But within this budget, we're certainly covering the aesthetics of the city. You mentioned what you liked about Riverside and throughout East Providence, whether it's the Kent Field project,
Correct,
whatever.
correct.
Okay,
That's been recognized in prior meetings.
sure.
Kent
So what
project is great.
specifically
There's-
are you looking for in the budget?
I'm asking it as a brief question tonight.
Again,
I'm not expecting that it
again-
be some random line item. It's,
Well, unfortunately, that's what budgets are. They have to be specific line items. You can't just have a generalization.
well, let me continue then.
Okay,
We still have trees down and hanging branches left over from July 3rd storm. So that's Department of Public Works. I second Rick's idea to give the Department of Public Works more resources, whatever they need.
Mhm.
Okay? I cleaned up the street from several gigantic or half tree branches that night and into the morning. Okay? That was to clear the entrance of Terrace Avenue so that someone from our neighborhood went out with a backhoe and cleared a more gigantic tree that had fallen across the street. We still have hangers that are left from that storm, and I don't know how many trees in the park. I don't go around counting them. The Department of Public Works is great. It is extremely well managed. Donna was Woman of the Year or Employee of the Year, whatever. I like Rick's idea in the event that there's any extra money anywhere. With environmental challenges, we all know we experience in them. Climate change is not something you believe in, like voodoo or a religion. It is a scientific fact. And it is the Department of Public Works that needs to go out and straighten everything out. There's no doubt about it.
We recognize that. I
That's
recognize
not the only
that.
concept. The other things are not really necessarily budget items, but as far as a budget goes, if there's any unused or, flexible or whatever you want to call it, money that is, I think Dan should have a good crack at it.
Sure. I think, administration has our intent that if there is a way to do that, that has our support. Thank you. Anyone else here that has a question on the budget? Mr. Solicitor, the rest of the process for this, I think I'm prepared to.
You're moving to the ordinances now, and it's part of that ordinance. If you have-
Right, that's
certainly
the
have
first step.
Yeah, you have the option tonight to approve the budget as submitted by that ordinance if you so choose.
So under the ordinances, that's also public hearing. Is that
Yes,
correct? Yes.
which we've kind of had already, but it's up to you.
So are we on page 7 of the agenda now? And Madam Clerk, if you want to just read the ordinance, this is for first and final passage and second passage for discussion and possible vote.
Okay, first let me make a correction. It should say second and final passage. In
Okay.
order, number 1, in ordinance and amendment of chapter 18 of the revised ordinance of the city of East Providence, Rhode Island, 1998, as amended, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, section 1, subsection B of section 18-269, entitled Stop and Yield Intersections Designated when stops required, is amended by adding thereto the following: Providence Avenue northbound traffic at Sunset Avenue, Providence Avenue southbound traffic at Sunset Avenue, sponsored by Council President Rodrick.
Now, Mr. Solicitor, this is part of the budget?
No.
No.
I think we're just going down the. We're just going down the list.
Right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Public hearing, by the way.
So we do have the motion to approve. Councilman Lawson, Councilman Fogarty under public hearing. Any comments, discussion? Anyone here that would like to comment on this? Once again, anyone present would like to comment on this? Hearing none, I'll close that part of the public hearing. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Next ordinance.
Number 2, an ordinance and amendment of chapter 18 of the revised ordinance of the city of East Providence, Rhode Island, 1998, as amended, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, is amended by adding thereto the following: section 18-307, no parking Lincoln Avenue, north side, from Crescent Avenue westerly, 175 feet, sponsored by Council President Rodrick.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Lawson to approve. Councilman Fogarty seconds. Under discussion, the council members, any further discussion? We have talked about this before. Any members present here tonight that wish to speak on this? Once again, anyone else here wishing to speak on this? Hearing and seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Next. ordinance.
Number 3, ordinance of the Council of the City of East Providence appropriating $115,824.50 for improvement at
Motion to approve, and thank you, Patricia, for adjusting it to the wishes.
introduced by Council President Rodrick and Councilman Lawson.
Yes, thank you, Councilman Lawson, for
Motion
bringing
to
this
approve.
to a point. Seconded by Councilman Fogarty. Under discussion, Director Borges, would you like to add to this, please?
Yeah, just a clarification. I believe that the number in the original, as stated on the agenda, is not.
Yes,
accurate, right?
I left it. I left this because this was tabled from a previous meeting, but you need to. I thought you were going to add to this number. We had a number of one.
Oh, what number do you want me to put?
The number should be provided in the, I think the resolution, right? Yeah.
Was it a
The
backup?
ordinance,
Sorry.
excuse me. Or the memo that was included.
Right, that wasn't updated on the docket.
Well, that's because it was tabled from
Yeah,
the
well,
last
all right,
meeting.
all right.
I wouldn't update it because
Let me get the number.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. It's in the packet, I'm sure.
Do, 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 do.
Give me that number, please.
$150,032.40.
Make a motion to amend it to $150,032.40
$32.40.
and make a motion to approve that dollar amount for the upgrades at Vintner Ave.
Motion to amend the resolution as submitted. So that's the first
Yep, I
motion.
make a motion to amend the resolution as amended.
I'll second.
Motion is amended at that amount as stated, seconded by Councilman Fogarty. All in favor of the amendment? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
A motion to approve as
Motion to approve the amended ordinance.
Same thing, Councilman Lawson moves approval, Council Vice President Rego seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Next.
Number 4, ordinance of the Council of the City of East Providence appropriating $233,613,991 for the support of the city government for the fiscal year ending October 31st, 2026, introduced by Council President Rodrick.
So this is our budget.
So this is the vote to approve.
This is the budget the budget ordinance, which only needs one passage under our charter, so.
Through the chair. if I-
Yes, Councilwoman Souza, please.
Is this total amount, just 'cause I didn't look, include the capital improvement?
This does include not the specific projects, but the total amount, dollar amount. So it's roughly 234 million, well, 233,613,991 is the specific amount. And Mr. Solicitor, we'll do the capital at another time. Is that correct?
It's up to you, but yeah, I mean, you approve that.
We approve the total.
I know made recommendations in the budget for capital improvements as well, did you not?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Other questions and discussion on the budget? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion, Councilman Fogarty, to approve as listed.
Second.
Second by Council Vice President Rego. Because it is the annual budget, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll of the?
Just a public hearing.
Oh, still
Public comment if you want.
Right.
I don't think there's anyone here, but.
Yeah, no one present, but we'll ask any comments. Nancy approves. She said, any other comments from anyone? Any other comments from the council members, administration, anyone?
I'll add.
Yes.
You know, I want to thank all the department heads and the mayor's staff for doing this budget because everyone thinks it's easy. A lot of time and dedication went into all of this. There were workshops for the past couple of months. So new finance directors, old ones going out and new ones coming in, did a great job. So thank you for that transition.
Mr. President,
Yes, Council Vice President.
having looked through this budget and when things come out, obviously people see the 4% and lights go off in their heads. And that's with the levy, and people have to understand the whole process. And let me get closer. If you look through the budget, which I did many times, there's no fat between. We all know the rising healthcare crisis we're in, and it could get even worse because thank you, Washington D.C. Our employees deserve fair pay. As everybody knows, electric, and that's why I'm going to keep on hopping on the community choice, which will benefit the city. Everybody's expenses goes up, and obviously the city's expenses go up. And if you look at where we are now with the levy, and we got till the end of the year, and hopefully more of these buildings that are being built, houses come up, that our bottom line increases, our total revenue stream with the levy. But right now, based on what was advertised in that newspaper a couple of weeks ago, where we post in the newspaper, I should say, where we posted what the tax rate is now and what the tax rate would be. If you were to go and figure that out on a house that's valued at $400,000, which is a fair number that a lot of houses in the city are valued at now, what that would do off the tax rate, and I know it's still money, but it will come down to about, again, I left my notes at home I thought it was here, but it's about $260 a year. Breaking that down into 52 weeks a year, it's roughly like $4.40 a week that the taxes would be going up if you look at it. So I think overall, we've done a good job in the 3 years here. Yeah, I want what I like to see. I like to see more services. Yeah, but I don't think this budget is loaded with any fat and everything. And if you break it down, nobody likes to see an increase. But as I said in the first opening meetings, there's no we're not shutting the library down for a day or two. We're not shutting fire stations. We're not rotating fire stations being shut down. We see in the news around us doing that. We obviously we want more police officers, but we're not cutting police. We're not cutting teachers. We didn't cut the school budget, and we'll never cut the school budget. And what you got to people understand, this tax increase. They say it all the time. People love to approve bonds in the state of Rhode Island. Well, bonds aren't free. So now we have a great looking high school. We're going to have a great new middle school. Waddington deserves to be upgraded. Somebody has to pay for it. So at $4 a week, and we're educating our children, and we're not cutting the future, this is a pretty damn good budget when you start looking around other cities and towns.
Thank you, Council Vice President. Other members, Councilman Lawson.
I'm going to slightly disagree. A budget set of priorities. I'm going to be voting no because Riverside, not one dime in capital. We have Crescent Park, the concession building, not a dime there. We've been asking for bathrooms at Crescent Park, nothing in there. And when I asked about the compost toilets, it sounds like they're still trying to build lifeguard buildings. Not a dime towards Oldham to move that closer to be habitable. We've been talking about all the school project, not a dime towards the school building fund. So I mentioned DPW workers and some ways we could possibly allocate some money to grab a couple workers. So for those reasons, I will be voting no. Budget's a set of priorities, and it doesn't look like the priorities that I hear from the folks in Riverside are being met. So
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else, Councilwoman? Do you want to add anything specific? Before we call for the vote, Mr. Mayor, this is your budget. Do you want to make a closing comment?
Yes, Council President. First, I want to thank the members of the council for doing their due diligence on this budget. I also want to thank all of our department heads. This budget process started months ago internally with our personnel, looking at every dime within their budget, trying to find ways to make this a palatable budget for our residents. The driving force, of course, the question was asked, what's the priorities? The people of East Providence have told us what their priority is. They want good school buildings for their students, for their student population. They want their school departments properly funded. And we, as a municipality, have done that. No other municipality has gone out for two major school bonds like East Providence has, $189 million, $149 million. That's real investment. Waddington Elementary School has seen some significant improvements. We are working, matter of fact, we have a CRMC meeting coming up to finalize the permit for the second phase of the protection of the seawall or the shoreline at Crescent Park. We just received information that the permit for DEM for the Willett Pond has been approved. You'll start to see our team mobilizing this week. We've invested money across this city from Rumford all the way down to Riverside to make this a better place for all people to live. And I want to thank all of you because I know it's not easy to sit up there and have to hear criticism, ridicule. But when it comes time to making tough decisions, logical decisions, that's where you guys get paid the big money. Not that it's really big money, but you get charged with making some difficult decisions. And yes, budgets are priorities. And we've worked closely with our school partners. We've worked with our finance director. We've worked with the council to find out what exactly the priorities should be. So I want to thank you. I want to thank the members of my team for putting together a responsible budget that continues the level of services that the people of East Providence have come to expect. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to correct a little something I said. I opened by saying this is your budget. It's our budget too. I'm not trying to shirk anything. I support the budget. I think we're going in the right direction. No document is perfect, but I think this is a good one to move forward. We did have a motion by Councilman Fogarty, seconded by Council Vice President Rigo. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll of the council?
Councilman Fogarty,
Aye.
Councilman Lawson,
Nay.
Council Vice President Rigo,
Aye.
Councilwoman Souza, Council President Rodrick.
Aye. Motion passes 4-1. We've adopted the budget, and we'll continue to move on. Madam Clerk, move on with the agenda.
I just comment, so.
Yes, I'm sorry.
We have two other, we can get to it when we get to it, but we've got to do the TANs and we've got to do the setting the assessment and taxation. So that takes two passages. So tonight, the budget is now finalized. We still have other administrative stuff to do and then take two passages.
The TANs is tonight, and then it would be 2 weeks from
Correct. TANs needs two passages.
tonight, and then
The next meeting in October.
Following meeting.
But it has nothing to do with, it obviously is related to the budget, but it's not an
Right.
expenditure of funds.
We can leave it on the agenda and get to it when we want.
Yeah, yeah.
No critical need to do it this second.
Right. I just wanted to
Sure.
let you know that we're not done with the budget process. The budget
Right.
is now adopted. But we still have
Final
other
steps.
cleanup to do. Yeah.
Okay, let's keep the order and continue. No, that's fine.
New
Thank you.
Business, Mayor Communication, Chief of Staff Patricia Rezende.
Thank you, Chief Staff. Welcome. Under appointments, looks like there are none requiring council confirmation. So you could go to number 2.
You want us to just accept? Is there something? The Holy Ghost Brotherhood? You want to read that one?
Sorry, I just wanted to have it in front of me. Council President, good evening, and members of the council. At this time, the only thing that we had was as you mentioned, Councilman, the proclamation celebrating the 125th anniversary of the Holy Ghost Brotherhood, as well as this already went through, but you had the plan in your packet for Vintner, so we don't need to go through that. And just for the record, there are 2 appointments. None of the appointments needed council approval, but just for the record, the courtesy appointment that's listed here, we are withdrawing the appointment for Libby Merrill that was erroneously placed on by myself.
Okay. So
Prematurely, I should say.
for the record, for anyone watching the meeting, either you or Madam Clerk, if you just want to read the 3 names remaining of reappointments, they do not need council appointment, but so people will know. Or I'll just read them. You are reappointing Jerome Spinola, Affirmative Action Committee, Tom Wazika, Historic District Commission, and Janelle Walker, reappointment, Affirmative Action Committee. So those are done. And you mentioned the proclamations. Any questions, council? Thank you. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia.
Resolutions for discussion and possible vote. Number 1, resolution amending resolution number 195, adopted April 1st, 2025, to reflect a change in the total cost of the purchase of 2 police vehicles in the amount of $130,820, introduced by Council Vice President Rigo.
Do you want to add to that, council?
No, it's pretty much
Pretty
says
standard.
everything, what we're doing here.
Is that a motion?
A motion to move.
Second.
Motion by Council Vice President Rigo, seconded by Councilman Lawson. The amount is $130,820. No further questions. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. To back up a second, no school committee liaison report tonight?
No, they were just here.
They were here last meeting and, okay, so we now, Madam Clerk, number 2, the resolution. Page 9.
Number 2, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a cooperation agreement between the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management and the City of East Providence to operate an air monitoring station at 64 Bourne Avenue, introduced by Council President Rodrick and Council Vice President Rigo.
This is at no cost to the city. I believe it's going to be at Francis School, Council Vice President, and it's
Well, this is
Gonna help.
This is a continuation. It's 30 years, and if you go up to Myron J, you can. There's that little building that's right between that and the playground. So this is just a renewal of that contract, and it comes in great assets to everything coming
Sure.
over the bay. And
monitoring the air.
this is just a continuation of the contract.
Motion by Council Vice President Rigo. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Lawson. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Item 3.
Resolution authorizing approval for additional cost of utility bodies and plows for pickup trucks for the Department of Public Works, introduced by Council President Rodrick.
There was a need to add to this from what our original plan was.
I need the numbers explained.
Sure. I think that the DPW director is going to clarify this for us so we can have the numbers. and
Not opposed. I just the numbers
right,
didn't make
not
sense
listed
when I was reading it.
right.
And are these in addition to the ones that are
In capital.
in capital that are being asked?
These in addition.
So these were two vehicles that were purchased for the Department of Public Works. What ended up happening is we had gone to a few vendors to get pricing. One particular vendor had 2 trucks available. So we were able to purchase one for the Parks Department, one for the Highway Department. Unfortunately, it was sort of a mix-up with the cost. When we received the cost, we were under the impression that it included the utility body as part of the truck. However, the cost of the truck was just for the body without a bed. So we're coming to the council just.
So, right, but I'm reading it. In the amount of 24,265, that's for the plows for both,
Yes,
and that's 48,530.
the
So how much is it per truck, each truck? I just don't see the total amount in this resolution.
yeah. So I don't have the number in front of me. The 24,000 is per truck. So it'd be the utility body and the plow package per vehicle.
So each vehicle would be over 50 thou, which requires a.
Correct.
But I don't see the total cost or where the money's coming from. That's the only thing I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean the cost should be coming from.
Is it the opera?
These are in.
So is it 46 plus 24 each? So it's like 61 each. Okay. And where's the money coming from?
The original 46 from the 2 trucks was purchased out of ARPA funds. So
Okay.
in order to purchase the remainder of these 2 trucks, we require council approval over 50,000 for each of the vehicles. So
And where's the 48,530 coming from?
the 48, which I believe is the number for the trucks, I don't have that in front of me. So
I think that's both the plow, the utility, the plows combined.
So that would be coming out of a combination. I'm not sure exactly what was put on the ordinance, but it's a combination of, or resolution. It's a combination of capital funds as well as some general fund expense from
Okay.
the city's highway.
Okay. And I think we mentioned it, but can these resolutions have the funding source going forward? Okay. But yeah, no, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Lawson to approve, seconded by Council Vice President Rigo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. It's always good to buy the whole truck and not just half a truck. So we'll get there.
And again, this is coming out of fiscal year 25, not
Yes.
the budget we just approved.
Yep.
Yeah, I just-
Thank you,
just wanted to clarify.
Dan. Next item.
Introduction of ordinances for discussion and possible vote. An ordinance authorizing the Director of Finance to borrow funds in anticipation of taxes for FY 2026.
So this is pretty perfunctory, Mr. Solicitor. It goes in concert with the budget and,
We pass this every year. And
Yeah.
right.
Motion to move.
First passage.
What's the amount of TNs now?
You can-
Roughly?
Yeah, we don't know until we actually.
So we don't know until we
Okay.
get to,
And just for people to know, because our fiscal year is not in sync, we have to borrow money every year to cover a quarter, and it costs us 3, 4, 500,000. So if we could find a way to sync our year, that would be the best thing for this city.
Yeah.
That it
Right.
would.
Oh, there's two ways of doing it. There's the hard way, which is to add
Millions.
to add an extra like
Quarter.
a quarter.
Yep. But then the following year would only be 3 quarters.
But that's the semi-easy way. To,
If
you know,
you can get the taxpayers to agree, of course.
yeah,
it is.
and then the other way is what was started before the change of form of government was putting money aside,
Yep.
and then it was
That's when we had 14 million.
Yeah.
Then the high school
Streets.
fell apart,
yeah.
and we had to use that money.
And a prior council put it into street.
Yes. That
So-
Everyone wants also.
That's what
Absolutely.
the budget commission. That was one of the things that they talked about. So
Yeah.
you're doing it there. I mean, it's either a bridge year,
Yeah.
which puts it, puts you around 5 quarters, and you might have to do that 2 years in a row. Or you probably have to do that twice. See, yeah, and I mean, that's that's the way to do it. It ends up almost coming up the same way because there's 365 days in a year.
But we're not there yet. So for
No, I'm
now,
just saying,
right.
those
You'd
are
have to have the
ways to do it.
taxpayers
Yeah.
So is
willing.
there a motion for first passage for this TANs?
Second.
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilman Lawson, and also Councilwoman Souza, seconded by Council Vice President Rigo. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Next item.
Number 2, an ordinance in amendment of Chapter 11 of the revised ordinance of the City of East Providence, Rhode Island, 1998, as amended, entitled Personnel, Pensions and Retirement. The Council of the City of East Providence amends Section 11252, 1, death of a retired participant related to eligibility requirements for a surviving spouse of a deceased member, introduced by Councilman Fogarty.
Thank you.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman
And just a
Fogarty.
quick explanation. This closes a loophole. So if I retire, my spouse that I'm with at that time, if I pass, they're eligible. If I retire and then marry somebody down the line, they're not. So this just closes that loophole. So, and I
You're still
second it.
single, I believe, right,
I
Council?
am single. That's why I'm wealthy.
Seconded by Councilman Lawson. The motion was Councilman Fogarty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
First passage, by the way.
First passage, correct. The ayes have it. Thank you, Councilman. Next
Number
item.
3, ordinance of the Council of the City of East Providence appropriating $134,795 from the East Providence School Department Capital Improvement Revolving Fund, introduced by Councilman Fogarty.
Yes, Councilman, and so this is starting to utilize that fund to help school department. A motion by Councilman Fogarty,
Second?
seconded by Councilman Lawson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Next item.
Number 4, ordinance of the Council of the City of East Providence ordering the assessment and collection of property tax on the
Rateable.
rateable real estate intangible personal property, introduced by Council President Rodrick.
So another perfunctory measure that we have to make in order
Motion
to.
to approve.
Motion by Councilman Lawson to approve.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Souza. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
The
You
ayes
got
have it.
13 minutes, buddy.
Motion to
Second.
adjourn by Council Vice President Rigo, seconded by the rest of the members. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Rick, don't forget November.